Now, let's talk about what the impact of this is on our front line. Okay, Mark?
So how is Mark feeling about all this afterwards, after the encounter?
Pissed is the word I was thinking.
So
I think what Audrey means to say is that Mark's demeanor and his frame of mind are not particularly positive as a result of his having been through this traumatic experience.
Well, and I think it's going to affect tomorrow. The next day, instead of saying, 2 days ago was this, and yesterday was this, and now my boss is in days, and
Okay.
So we're going to talk about what you might say going home? Yeah, so he walked off the job. Not a good thing, obviously, but he's coming home early and goes to his wife and says, Missy, how you doing? His lovely wife. So what would Missy say to Mark? It's like, what you doing home at this hour?
What do you wear to suck it up and go?
All
All right, Missy's been reading our notes. Okay, that's all I can tell you.
Well, let's start with what would Mark be saying to his lovely wife about what just happened? Venting, let's get more specific. What's that? My boss did what to me? My boss belittled me. Didn't back me up. My boss.
He can't work for that man, he doesn't believe.
My boss threw me under the bus. How? Okay. So, what about the patient and the patient family member? Family member was rude.
Yeah, I tried to so nice and
I did my best, and they.
yeah.
How was my training? Did my training do the job? The policies help me in this situation? No. Policies were useless. Okay. And what might his attitude be about his job at this point? Yeah. He came in with a positive, we talked about that, he came in with a positive attitude, and now, do I want this? Do I want to keep this job? Do I want to quit? All right, well, let's see what the wife says. The wife might be handing the want ads, saying, so that's one approach.
So Mark now goes down to the employment service. You look at another job, and you've lost a caring, competent, well-trained, polite member of staff. What happens to the status of your medical center? It goes down. Or, alternatively, what Missy said the first time, man up.
You have to pay the bills.
I can't have you quitting that job. We got bills to pay. So he doesn't leave the payroll. But if we were to watch Mark from a distance over the next 2, 3, 4 months, what kinds of changes would we see, or would we be likely to see, in Mark's behavior over that period of time? How would we see that attitude change reflected, Corinne?
He wouldn't get parent. He'd be cold and
Right. He would not have the warmth that he had before. Vicki? Absenteeism goes up. Tardiness incidents. Okay? Go ahead, Tamiko.
Since that incident, he may just impart any questions to his supervisor.
Not making any decisions, not taking any initiative, bumping things up the line at a drop of a hat. Lack of enthusiasm. Okay? What about his attitude toward his supervisor? Would we be likely to see no respect? Would we be likely to see additional confrontations between him and the supervisor over a period of time?
More undermining and going around.
Undermining, bad mouthing. Okay, going to a friend of his and saying, Michael, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, bud. If you ever get hooked up with a mirror, watch your back. Watch your back. He will stab you in a heartbeat. Does that kind of thing happen? Oh, absolutely. 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 Absolutely, happens all the time. So while he hasn't left the payroll, what he's essentially done is quit in place, hasn't he? And what happens to the status of the organization? It goes down. Right? That's the problem. Now, here's the question. Team one, after lunch, We are going to replay this scenario with one of you in Mark's chair and with one of you taking the role of the supervisor. The question for you is, what will you do differently that will help this interaction come to a better conclusion? And right before lunch, we're going to give you a technique. We're going to give you a tool that you can use to do that. And it's a tool that will not only change your work, it'll change your life. Okay, right? So that's scenario number one.